So in part one of our all-new Canyon coverage, you saw that this is a very handsome looking truck, but I'm sure you want to know what is the performance. So I'm happy to say today's the day. We are out on the road in the 2023 GMC Canyon. We are driving the Denali trim level right now. And of course we're going to, go through a lot of things in this test drive. So let's go ahead and get started. Just a little punch of the accelerator to start us off here, and immediately you're going to be able to tell, obviously, that you have a totally different powertrain setup than what you had on the previous generation. So if you're familiar with the 2022 Canyon, you had two different engine choices, a 3.6 liter V6 and a turbo diesel. Now, both of those are going to be gone for the new generation. In its place, we have a 2.7 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. This is the same kind of setup as we see in some versions of the Sierra truck, but in this case, we actually have a high output version. So this version is making 310 horsepower, 430 pound-feet of torque. The sibling Chevy Colorado actually has 3 different outputs, but this model just goes straight to the top.
Yeah.
I like that about this.
Yeah, it's a more premium truck, and because of that more premium vibe that you get with GMC, you are going to get that top-end powertrain. So we're definitely excited to show you what it's like full throttle and get you that full acceleration, because this is a very impressive motor.
Oh, yeah.
Very nice. That's up a hill, too.
Oh, yeah, up a pretty steep hill.
Yeah.
That torque, though, that is what you really feel. It's just tuned for excellent torque delivery. Some people might, miss the diesel, for instance, but with this, you're really getting diesel-like torque, which I think is a cool characteristic. It's kind of a interesting balance where you're getting, power that's more like the V6 and torque that was more like the previous diesel. Also, the sound characteristic is not too shabby. I think they've done some work. If it's like the Colorado, they've done some work to, make it sound deeper, more tough.
Yeah, we had pretty extensive seat time in the all-new Colorado, which does share a motor with this. It's not the high output version, the one that we sampled out, but it does have all the same similar characteristics. And yeah, they have worked a lot on making this a meatier 4-cylinder. For those of you who are like, I don't want a 4-cylinder in my truck, you're probably really not even going to notice that much, because it has a nice meaty tone to it, which is certainly a good benefit that they've gone for with this new Canyon.
Right, and I think once you feel that torque, you're not going to miss
all
about it. Let's talk about the other aspect of the powertrain. That's going to be the transmission. So we've got an 8-speed automatic on board, as you just saw me demonstrate. Change your foot position on the throttle, and you get a really nice, quick response. Of course, with all the torque it has, though, it doesn't always have to hunt around a lot, because you do have plenty of torque to be able to get yourself up inclines and things like that.
Yeah, it's a really good mate to this engine, and we are going to have 2-wheel drive as your standard drive setup on the Canyon, unless you go for the AT4X that has standard 4-wheel drive, but you can option on 4-wheel drive to any of the other trim levels. Yeah. This is definitely a powerful truck, because, this is a mid-size truck. This is not a full-size Sierra, and putting this powerful motor in the smaller truck body certainly makes for a nice, powerful experience.
I think Mason would like to get a sound level reading.
Yep, let's go ahead and get that. Going 55. We're looking at 57 decibels even. So as far as how the 57 decibels ranks against its competition, well, I guess you wouldn't say competition, but it is also, of course, pretty much the same truck, the Colorado. It's actually the second quietest midsize truck that we've tested out. It's behind one version of the Colorado that tested at 55 decibels, but this is a very quiet experience. And that's one thing that I want to talk about here is what GMC is doing with this midsize truck segment. I mean, in general, they've made a really quiet cabin, which is something we haven't seen a lot in midsize trucks. And also when we talk about the ride quality, you're going to have a really solid ride quality with this Canyon. You know, we're here in Asheville, North Carolina, driving around on some relatively rough roads, and it does a good job of soaking up the bumps. They've just made a very premium feeling midsize truck, and that's going to be today's slam dunk because that's something you don't really see that commonly in this segment, and GMC is moving it upscale, especially here with the Denali model.
Right, I think the previous generation, you know, was really just Colorado with a little bit extra.
Yeah.
This one, you know, feels like a substantial step up in terms of luxury. Now, what else is a substantial step up? That's going to be the price tag. So today's AirBall is just going to be the fact that you have to pay up a pretty good price premium over the Colorado, maybe even a little more than you expect to be the price premium over the Colorado. And Mason will talk about that in just a second.
I do also want to hit the fuel economy for this new Canyon. Since we do only have one engine option on every single Canyon model, we're going to have two fuel economies, one with two-wheel drive, one with four-wheel drive. So 182320 is going to be our two-wheel drive fuel economy figure. Four-wheel drive is going to come in at 19 miles a gallon combined. If you go for the AT4X, you're going to be dropped down to 18 miles per gallon. And as far as prices are concerned, we're going to start at $36,900 for the Elevation trim level. With two-wheel drive, AT4 is $43,900, Denali $51,000, and then you have the AT4X that starts at $55,500. And as far as your warranty is concerned, you're going to have GMC's signature warranty, which is going to be 3-year 36,000 miles for your basic, 5-year 60,000 miles for your powertrain. You do also get one complimentary service visit provided by GMC. But anyways, if you enjoyed watching and found this video helpful, please pay us back by hitting that subscribe button down below. If you're already a subscriber, thank you so much for your continued support. We really appreciate all of your viewership on the channel. Anyway, we'll catch you next time as we sample more of the latest automotive delicacies.